The media is trying to drive Elon Musk and Trump apart. Honestly, I'm surprised. They've been doing a fucking great job at it because they've been saying Musk is the fucking shadow president for a long time.
Meanwhile, President Trump slashing Biden's bloated clean energy programs, and the cuts are
It's
already
kind of
being
ridiculous.
felt. They even plan to claw back $20 billion earmarked for climate projects allocated during Biden's double bird lame duck period last year. And what else has DOGE uncovered? Just tens of millions wasted on social programs for just about every country in the world.
Cambodian women empowerment. How the fuck does that help anybody? Why are we sending money to people, man?
There's social cohesion in Malai, a gender equality hub in Cambodia. HUD, that's Housing and Urban Development, misplaced, $1.9 billion under Joe Biden's watch. That's not loose change. You don't find that in sofa cushions. That's a national GDP. Kevin, what do you make of what President Trump, Elon Musk, and DOGE have managed to not just uncover, but claw back and stop in just a matter of weeks?
This is wildly popular because we have a unique situation. You've got Elon Musk with his own international broadcast network. He can publish anything he wants on it any time.
It's wildly popular because we all think we pay too much in fucking taxes and we don't know where any of the money goes, and the fact that our roads suck ass and we pay all these fucking taxes into shit, and it's just going to Ukraine and Israel and Gaza for freaking condoms and dumb shit like that that doesn't benefit us in any way. And it's good to finally see that we aren't fucking crazy and that people are screwing us over. It's just my opinion.
He goes into these agencies, 48 hours later, puts a list of crazy stuff like you just detailed. People see it all through the
fucking plays in like France and or not Cambodia or like Indonesia or some dumb place that fucking nobody cares about. Fucking sex change operations, gender affirming bullshit all over the place. It's just stuff that nobody truly gives a shit about and doesn't help us at all. It's not going to our country, which is probably the biggest problem. It's not helping us in any way.
U.S. and around the world and say, this is nuts. And it just fuels what else is out there. So what's happening here has never happened before. He could only do this with the power of the executive behind him because all of the people that are managing these mandates and these programs are being embarrassed by this. Whether you just got the job or whether you were there in the Biden administration, Elon doesn't care who you are. He just publishes it anyways, and then it's all over your face. There's a lot of tension going on here with the management of these programs, and particularly when we start talking with the FAA and the Pentagon. I mean, oh, baby, wait till that one comes out, because that is always going to be a black hole saying, well, it's for defense, and I can't tell you what it's for. But now there's accountability. There's so much.
Yeah, I can't wait till it comes out that we fund every coup and fucking civil war in South America and how we funded the coup in Ukraine, and all these documents come out and all this money comes out and shows that everything's just fucked up like everyone's thought for years. I can't wait till we find out what the CIA spends all this money on and what they actually fucking do. I'm just saying, there's a lot of fucking fucked up shit. It'd be nice to see where all our taxpayer money's going.
Fat dripping off these chickens. This is the best barbecue I've ever seen.
Charles, instead of making money, it's losing money. It's losing money because of bureaucrats. And it comes back to repeat myself, because I'm elderly and I don't really remember what I said yesterday. It is my money. It is your money.
Right.
Every dollar, either you gave it to the government unwillingly because you were taxed, or the government has borrowed it on your back and the back of your children and your grandchildren.
Right, so it's not really losing money. I mean, outside of the taxpayer, someone's making a lot of money. I think that's the part that's making it, Kevin, even more popular in the sense that someone's getting my money. Yeah. It didn't go to these starving kids. It didn't go to whatever the name of the agency is. You know, they're really great at...
Or the fact Zelensky only got $70 billion out of the hundreds of billions that we sent. Something's going on and it's disgusting.
that, the
Career
Affordable
politicians
Care Act,
making a bunch of
or
money.
Inflation Reduction Act. They name things really well to hide and steal money. I think what's really got people upset from all sides of the political aisle. This is theft. This is grand theft. Might be the greatest heist in history as we go through it. And it's really interesting. Every couple of years, the American Society for Civil Engineers comes out with the grades of our infrastructure.
Yeah.
So this stuff is an unknown. This is the last grade they gave for FAA. They noted that more people were traveling, right? And we've seen that, a huge travel boom from 900 million to over 1.2 billion people travel, right? They were already projected to have a budget shortfall of $111 billion over a 10-year period. And so you say, well, we keep shoveling money in there. Where does it go? Who is getting it? And why are the skies becoming less safe? This is the stuff that resonates. When planes start colliding, when things aren't done, and yet everyone knows that every time they get their paycheck, one thing always happens. The government takes out a big chunk of it, to your point, and for some reason, we've allowed this to exist. Even though we've kind of all knew it, and we've heard anecdotes here and there, we've allowed it to exist to the extent that it has, and this is the ultimate wake-up call.
And now I think we're at the point where it's not just the amount that they take out of your paycheck. They're going to say, we don't have enough, and we need to ask you for more.
Right.
And people just can't take that with inflation, cost of living going up, housing costs have gone up, all under the Biden administration. Trump is working on that, but it's not going to happen overnight. And so when people hear, you might actually want to ask me for more, then I really need to think about this. And I'm not talking about the Republicans or this administration. I'm talking about the Democrats. Certainly if Kamala Harris had been elected president, that's the kind of conversation that you would be having. And at the end of the day, why aren't we running our country like a corporation? Why aren't we looking for efficiency? Why aren't we treating this like an income statement and a balance sheet? The shareholders are the American people, and that's their money that they invested to put to work. I think it's because...
Actually, Trump did say that he was going to have Elon Musk and DOGE before the election. So, yes, I believe that over 50% of Americans did vote for Elon Musk.
At the end of the day, if you run amok and you have a lot of chaos out there, we talk about it, whether it's the education department or whatever, they still can control you in that way and say, oh, see, everything's so chaotic. We're the ones. We're going to come and help you fix it. That's not what's going to happen.
My worry, though, as it always has been, is that it gets tied up in courts and delays this. And Kevin, I think one thing we've talked about is you're bringing the speed of business to big, slow government. And big, slow government doesn't like the speed of the private sector business. So things are getting tied up in courts, and you're going to have it play out. And some of my colleagues think, I think Brian would say this if he were here, it's great. Take it to the Supreme Court so we can get a final answer. I get worried that then we don't have that time. The markets, the American people, small businesses, we want DOGE to act now. We want results now. I want them to start cutting things now. If I were a bankrupt company and I had 30 days to pay my employees, I would stem the bleeding now. And I get worried that when we tie this up in courts, it slows down the momentum in the process.
I think it will get tied up in court, but even if 25% gets tied up in court, the other 75% goes through. Plus, the advantage of this tactic of using social media this way for the first time is the story doesn't go away. The $20 million on condoms story doesn't go away.
Right.
So it just keeps coming at you because Elon just keeps turning it on. And people say, oh, he overpaid for Twitter. I don't think so anymore.
No.
This is really interesting what he's...
No, I don't think he overpaid on Twitter because now that is the world stage. Like Biden announced that he is dropping out of the race on Twitter. It is the most important social media platform, and it's also the freest social media platform. Anyone can say anything they want on there, and it's heard. So, and I also think that it's a big part of why Trump won the election in the first place.
He's doing. I don't know if he planned it this way, but when you have your own network, you can do some crazy chicken stuff.
Well, there are a lot better legal analysts, like professors, legal scholars, constitutional scholars on X, former Twitter, talking about what is going on with these lawsuits than you read about in all the kind of regime media. That's where I've been going to read about the legal ramifications and the constitutional foundation for what is
Twitter's
happening
great.
and for the executive
Or
power
X.
that President Trump is rightly exerting.
You know, by the way, there's also the court of public opinion.
Right.
Right. And so whoever is pushing these legal challenges that invariably will probably a lot of them are going to lose, right, are going to have to answer for that as well.
Yes.
Right? They're going to have to.
And
it
just
feels
a
like
quick
the people
point.
making the most noise are like, well, why are you the one who don't? I thought everyone in Washington was supposed to want the government to work for the people. If you're saying you don't want to stop waste, fraud, and abuse, then you have to explain it to me. Maybe you're.
I agree. If you look at the net worth of the politicians that are leading some of these protests and charges against like DOGE, I think it says a lot. I don't think they work for the people. They work for themselves. They're just trying to make money. And I believe a lot of it might be an embezzlement or money launder. I don't know what the correct term is for that one in this case, but something's definitely fishy.
One of the people benefiting from it.
And pretty quickly, as we've been tracking these cases, they are actually being decided in favor of the administration because the legal arguments that they're being made on are completely unsound. And the judges may be liberal and they may be appointed by Obama and Biden and some even date back to Clinton, but they realize that they can't even, they can't even put their stamp on it.
President Trump says that the media, the regime media, is trying to drive a wedge between him and Elon Musk.
Absolutely.
Actually, Elon called me. He said, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. No, they said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I say, it's just so obvious. People are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do, actually.
They get it.
And there you have it. It's like you see if Elon Musk lets Trump do this and does that or whatever, it's all a big joke, man. They're all trying to cover up their own fraud and wasteful spending.